Tuesday, and welcome to another episode of the Cattle USA Daily Podcast. Today, I think it's time we had a real conversation about rural America. Too often, we're overlooked. Big cities and tech industries dominate the headlines, and policymakers who are hundreds of miles away from their offices talk about rural communities like we are fading away. They act like we have no future here. But you and I, we both know that's not true. The truth is, ranchers are the backbone of America. The work you do is about so much more than cattle. You're business owners, job creators, economic drivers. Every decision you make, whether it's investing in your land, your livestock, or your community, has a ripple effect. When you succeed, the businesses around you thrive too. It's easy for people who don't live in rural America to forget that the lifeblood of these communities runs through the ranches, farms, and businesses that surround them. Without ranchers, rural America wouldn't just struggle, it simply wouldn't exist. And that's exactly why I want to remind you of the incredible power you hold. Your role in this economy, in your community, and in the future of rural America is far greater than you may even realize. Let's break it down, because this is where the real heart of rural America lies. First off, the economic power of ranching is real and raw. The U.S. cattle industry contributes billions of dollars every year, and a big chunk of that flows straight through rural communities. It's not just about the cattle or the products themselves, it's about the ecosystem that you create around it. As ranchers, you spend money locally on feed, equipment, truck repairs, fuel, veterinary care, and like a trillion other things. This isn't just a cycle of transactions. It is the lifeblood of rural businesses. Think about it. When you buy supplies, those local businesses get to keep their doors open, hire more employees, and continue to grow. It's a chain reaction that fuels the entire economy of your communities. When your operation grows, the opportunities around you expand. You're not just raising cattle, you're raising the standard of living for those around you. Local businesses thrive because of you. Communities become more robust, and that is where your impact extends far beyond your farm or ranch. You're keeping the economy moving, and you're ensuring that the people around you can succeed too. But it's not just about the dollars. It's also about the people. For every job on a ranch, there are 7 others supported in a community. Think about that for a second. Feed suppliers, vets, truck drivers, local sale barn employees, processing plants. All of those jobs rely on ranchers to keep things running. Your work supports entire families and keeps people in rural America, ensuring that your small town doesn't just survive, but in turn it thrives. Ranching jobs are the bedrock of these communities. They provide for families and make sure that people don't have to leave their hometowns just to make a living. In the face of rising urbanization and shifting industries, you're the ones who can help make sure that small towns can keep their schools open, their businesses running, and their streets full of life. Without ranchers, small towns die. Schools close, businesses shut down, communities fade into the background. You're not just raising cattle, you're raising a future for the next generation. Think about how impactful that is. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't see yourselves as economic developers or community builders. You're ranchers. You're focused on your operation, your cattle, your land. But the truth is, your influence goes much further than that. Whether you realize it or not, you are shaping the future of rural America. Ranchers have always been entrepreneurs. You're not just raising cattle, you're solving problems, creating opportunities, and finding new ways to innovate every single day. Some of you have maybe even started businesses outside of ranching, whether it's a retail shop or a service or an entirely new industry that supports this way of life. Others are putting money into their communities by supporting local businesses because you know that a strong community means a strong future for ranching. Some of you are paving the way for new markets, whether it's by finding better ways to connect consumers with agriculture or just by simply pushing the envelope on a sustainable practice. That is so impactful. So impactful. And it is all part of a bigger picture. Economic development that comes from the ground up. Ranchers like you aren't just providing food, you are providing opportunities. You're building businesses that support entire communities. And that doesn't even touch on the leadership roles that many of you have taken on in your communities. You serve on school boards, county commissions, economic development councils, and so many other roles. You advocate for policies that keep small towns strong. You protect your way of life. And that ensures that the next generation of ranchers has the tools they need to survive. I can almost guarantee you that every single one of you mentors the next generation, whether it be through family members, 4-H, FFA, or internships, making sure that young people see a future in ranching and rural businesses. You're not just keeping ranching alive, you're ensuring that rural America has a future too. In an ever-changing world where economies rise and fall and markets shift, ranching stands as one of the few industries that remains deeply rooted in place. While other industries shift job overseas or replace workers with automation and machines, ranching provides stability. Ranching is a constant, holding it all together. Even in market downturns, you still need supplies, services, and infrastructure, which means that rural businesses stay afloat. And that's something that many other industries don't offer. Stability. So here's a question I want you to think about. Without ranchers, what happens to these small towns? Without ranchers, where do rural families go? Without ranchers, who fights for our schools, businesses, and infrastructures? The answer is simple. Without ranchers, rural America doesn't exist. But here's the good news. You're here. You're still standing strong, fighting for this way of life. You're still investing in your operations, your communities, and the next generation. You've never been the type to sit back and wait for someone else to fix things. You lead, you work, you build, you adapt, you push forward. That's the heart of a rancher. That is the heart of rural America. So, here's my challenge to all of you. Keep standing up for rural America. Keep investing in your communities. Keep showing people that ranching isn't just an industry, it's a way of life that keeps this country strong. Your work matters, your voice matters, and your future is worth fighting for. Because at the end of the day, Ranchers don't just feed America. You build it, you power it, you keep it alive. So keep it up. Because rural America simply wouldn't be the same without you.